what you're saying. Nani? Get out my business, okay?
What?
Let's talk about how Jeremiah got 20 minutes left with us, and then get to this book so we
Oh
can
yeah,
talk
that's
about the
right.
games out.
Jeremiah. So how much time you got left? So we gonna go ahead and jump into the book, right? So where were we? We're in chapter 9. We're going 9 to 11.
So it was 8, 9, and 10. I mean, or 9, 10, 11.
It's 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
All right, so we in the mix.
At the
Basically,
end.
basically we have this great situation going on right now where he has gone through a lot of stuff. So chapter 9 was pretty like intense. We have being the uncommon man, and what does that mean? Being uncommon, like that was super tough.
What was it? What was it? Uncommon amongst the
Being uncommon.
uncommon?
Yeah, uncommon
Yeah,
amongst the
being
uncommon.
uncommon among the uncommon. Yeah.
Army races and the deceptive tactics of recruiting people they don't like. The third help.
Well, no, I think it's more so the Navy
Black.
SEAls are more racist.
This is literally just a breakdown. You will get your
No,
chance.
no, I'm saying I'm saying you gotta be, you gotta be specific. It was the Navy that was more racist.
Okay, you know what?
Yeah, the Army mostly black.
Military and
Yeah.
and
Well,
then
yeah,
the third
they are
hell
racist,
week still didn't I put down he still didn't learn his lesson about listening to his body and keeping up with his social life and like what does that look like for him.
Well, having a social life.
Yeah, like I think that's it's kind of weird to say, Liz, but it's like, man, we didn't really see nothing or hear nothing about his social life, more just this painful stuff. So it's like, when did you have time to have a social life? And like
Only on Hawk. Hawk is like the only motherfucker he actually did it somewhere, and there's only what was that fucking just training with him and running into him while training, like training right before he had a fucking heart surgery.
Yeah,
like hours before.
So what does it mean to be an uncommon man amongst uncommon men?
I don't know. I don't like that. Like, nigga, you gotta go out with the platoon for them to like feel some type of way about it. I understand them, but it was just crazy all the stuff that he was saying and what he had going on while he was actually being told what to help him out.
There's something like that, yeah, like it's like pretty jarring to me to see like this dude going through all of these things and like doesn't really have an outlet to handle it, you know? Like that part was like the part that kind of made me think about things past and present, right? Like where are you lying in this situation? Where does all of this go? Where does all this tension come from? And when you're comparing yourself to someone else, you have to first make sure that like that person's personal bar is high enough for you to even trying to compare yourself to. Like you can't call yourself an uncommon man amongst uncommon men if the person you're comparing to is a homeless person. It's like there's people that are higher than them. So then what do you like?
No, but remember he said remember he also said like being uncommon, is not necessarily what he's doing. Don't be like, you ain't gotta be like him. It could be uncommon against whatever you're into.
So then for what
now he realized that toward like maybe he realized that was toward the end of chapter 10 we realized that or said that. Where he was like, we need to
start chapter 10. Started chapter 10, he kind of came awake of himself and was like, you don't have to do like you don't have to go out here and like destroy your body to prove that you're an uncommon man amongst uncommon men. Like you could do like, so that's what I'm saying. Like what other things, if we're not out here like destroying our bodies, what else could we be doing? Like something in our day-to-day lives, like could just being able to raise a child make you uncommon in is that something worthy of it? Like what other things other than
because he does have a kid, right?
That shouldn't make you uncommon, but it does make you uncommon.
It does, yes. Like you see what I'm saying? Like it being a good father in today's day and age makes you uncommon.
Well, now and the past generation, because man, we good fathers out here. This generation is the generation of good fathers.
This by far, I think this like no shade to our predecessors, but we are a
I'll
great
shade, I'll
generation of.
shade, I'll shade to them old niggas.
That's hilarious. Like I think they definitely had like the right mindset. I think they had their hearts were in the right place, but they just didn't act on those intuitions. They
Yeah.
didn't act on those uh issues, right?
I even seen a nigga, a little picture on social media, like a dude left to get milk, and he never came back. But then 4 years later, he came back. He even brought the milk.
He brought the milk back. Hey, you
Yeah.
got to it got to count for something. It has to
You
count for
gotta
something.
acknowledge that.
Yeah, you got to
Welcome that
acknowledge.
brother back to fatherhood. Came.
That's the truth. That low key is the truth though. And other than that, like so what else do we find uncommon? Like I think JB mentioned this while we were off the air. He was like, "Dang, Hero, what other forms of revenue don't you have?" And I tell people all the time, like, I don't need maybe because I've been spoiled by my like earlier life where I had the ability to do all the things that most people are trying to do right now because I was in the NFL or because of the proximity of people that I lived next to. But like now it's just like I just see this vision for myself where it's like what position can I put my people in where they don't have to struggle no more? And that's the only thing that comes to my mind. That's the only thing I care about. And I don't know if that's like fair of me or not, but like I want to keep that
No,
going.
I was talking to Ashley yesterday about that exact thing. Cause she always like, why
Be
you
more
feel like
specific on who Ashley is.
Yeah, you
that's
on
my
live right now.
that's my wife. My wife Ashley.
Okay.
And she was like, why you always talk about getting $1 billion? And I said, because everybody don't got the capacity for that. When you think about your generation and generational wealth, like not to say like they couldn't do it. You have to have a want to behind it. You gotta have reasons and a capacity to do it. Like you have to know how to make it happen. So
You gotta have the right people around you too.
and the right people around you, gotta know how to
People
network.
gotta,
So it takes so many
yeah,
factors to go right. And
yeah.
like if
People
you don't
got,
have people that had a mindset to want to try and figure it out, it ain't gonna never happen. So that's why I say the capacity for it.
yeah.
Hmm.
And our people gotta understand that you can't do everything by yourself. Shit. Everybody got like
Yeah.
everybody who get made billionaires, they have people to help them get there. It wasn't like fucking we just woke up and like, man, I'm be a billionaire. Let me go ahead and then just happen. I was watching the interview the other day. I forgot who was talking they were talking about JayZ and how he made the right move to put the right people surrounding him, and it's been the same people forever. Like for the most part, it's been the same people forever. And how he got rid of Dame because Dame was trying to overplay his part. Like remember he said on the song a couple times, like fucking well, heard niggas saying they made hole, say make another hole. And now he went like he got the same friends. They were saying like, yeah, when you go around home, he got the same friends around him. He not gonna bring no new people around. Like you might get a meeting with him, but when it comes to him going to sit down and have dinner, it's gonna be the same people and it'll be the same ones he rap about that help him get to where he at, business wise.
And do you feel
And
like
that's
okay? And do you feel like having that hard cutoff makes you like different, makes you strange? Like, what do you like? Do you need
nah.
that hard cutoff?
Well, no, that like the whole purpose of that on topic on their interview was to say that you either start with the right people or you like in order to make it, you have to have the right people around you. That's what they were saying. Like if you, it'd be a lot of people with a lot of good ideas. They were saying I had the one dude that was speaking. He was like, yeah, I ran into Ti at the beginning of his career, and I was like, okay, this dude got the right people around him. He talked, how Ti talk and shit. He was saying how he speak and how he act is different from the other rappers that he managed and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, you gotta have the right people around because you got a lot of people around, like a lot of rappers that come out and they end up keeping the same people around and they end up not going nowhere because of that.
Do you okay?
You
So
let
then
Lloyd Secure work.
I always tell people this all the time. Like I think I'm often pretty grateful for like people that I run into who will be like, I hang around a bunch of doctors and I have a bunch of like affluent people around me. But like being able to have conversations with these people puts me in a position to have like greater conversations, if that makes sense. Like because I'm now able to sit next to them, I'm able to steal a piece of the game and take it back to me. Like my first time learning about investing came from a doctor on a private jet. And he was like, Heero, you're always on your goddamn phone, but I don't ever see you talking about your stocks. And I was like, stocks? And he was like, yeah, you should invest in this and this and this. And my mans wasn't playing. Like I said, nah, I ain't really built for that. I ain't really got money for that. But this is where I got that saying from. If someone wants you to invest in something, they should buy the first stock for you. My man's really gave me the first stock right there on the plane. He cashed at me the money right then and there and said, buy it.
So first off, he was like, nigga, why you looking at my phone? But all right, let's talk about this.
Hey, private jet.
Hey, never see me there, nigga. Why are you watching me?
Hey, the Lear Black Hawk jets are not that big. Like I could probably tilt that hoe over if I really tried. Like them jets is not that big. But
I like the same. Like Lil Duval got a plane. It's like
it's just
couple
like
motherfuckers got planes.
Yeah. If you like a Lear jet, now that I've been on a few of these private jets, like I think about JPP's private jet.
Talk about it, Heero.
And I was just saying, like,
Talk about it.
His was custom. He dropped out the floor and added like a bunch of shindigs in the back. The bathroom was full size. It had a bed, a little
put the rims on there,
a little full size bed.
So played in that bitch.
Yeah, it was nice, way nicer. But that's just my perspective on things. Where are we at? So then let's talk about a little bit about this part of the chat book where he was being signed up to recruit, and I really feel like they used David Goggins here, and he didn't peep game. He didn't peep game at like how this could be used. So statistically speaking, African Americans and minorities haven't transferred over to the military at a higher rate as other people, but of recent,
as far as the SEALs.
As the SEALs for sure, but like just the military in general, the numbers aren't there. Up until recently, until this campaign of trying to get urban youth into the military, and it was sort of this thing like instead of the pipeline from high school to jail, it was like from high school to armed services. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with that until you take a closer look at the picture of how they trap some of these people into these situations. Like, if you want to be real, they use money to get these people to do what they want to do. They give them dreams of getting out of the slums and getting out of this. But literally, that's what we pay taxes for, to keep these communities from falling into these situations. But now this is being targeted money used to directly get certain people out of there. And I don't really think that that's appropriate or necessary. And it made me feel some type of way that he was just okay with doing this. So I'm interested in hearing the perspective on that. Black, speak on it.
So he was a recruiter in earlier chapters, but he was speaking on how somebody brought it to the attention of the commander, like, yeah, so it ain't that many black people that's Navy SEALs, man. I'm like, all right, we could, see what David Goggins can do. And he had a discussion with him, like he knew about it. Remember we talked about that last week? We talked about how he knew about the racial thing. He didn't say nothing about it.
Yeah.
But as far as the military level, you speaking on recruit people, like shit, hell yeah, because a lot of people ain't have a way out. Anybody can go to the military, and then most black people go to jobs where they ain't gonna get hurt. Supply, motor T, you can get hurt, but it's rare as fuck where you see a nigga in motor T just something happen to him. So they getting supply jobs, intel jobs, just sweet ass jobs where they can't really be in no damage, no trouble. But for the most part, black people go to the military and they come home because they ain't getting their ass involved in no crazy shit. Everybody ain't crazy. But if they didn't go, a lot of people would just be doing nothing or in jail or fucking trying to get student loans for college if they don't want to be here. You gotta set yourself up for what you want to do.
No, absolutely. And so then that question still poses the question of like, do we have a situation now where like, they're not being genuine, like they're not being real, like there is more than one way to get them out of the slum of the situation. I just feel like once again, it's just our government continuing to use our people as cannon fodder. And to your point, Black, they got them up. Hey, Black people smart. They got up in there, got their little check, and bounced. And that's how you should have done it. That's how it should be.
But a lot of people that want to like, I don't get why people want to see what I dislike about Black people when they join and get a job where they can't transfer on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So what you gonna be as supply?
We gonna talk about that because when it's kind of crazy to hear like how David Goggins, this myth, this man, this legend, he was making $18 an hour at the end of the chapter. Like that can't be.
At what
real.
job?
At EMT, as an EMT.
Oh yeah. Well, she was okay. What the hell could a Navy SEAL become afterwards? Especially unsocial Navy SEAL.
And that's why I was so baffled why this man he was in close proximities with generals and all these things, and he couldn't find himself a little cozy administrative talking.
He didn't position. Talk. He wasn't social enough to pick up friends and network.
And you know what?
We're talking about networking. Yeah. Network is important as fuck.
And let's talk about that. We talk about how he on several occasions it was brought to his attention that he needed to lighten the fuck up. That people people within his own group didn't like hanging out with me. And this just struck me as the dude.
Well, it wasn't that. He didn't hang out with them. It wasn't they didn't like hanging out. They didn't like his ass at PT because he was trying to do too much.
And he reminded me of the dude on the team that, coach, we had a great practice. Coach says, all right, let's call it up. And the dude will raise his hand and be like, hey, we didn't run our gassers today.
Yeah.
And everybody just turn around and look at his ass. Like,
if you know that boy funny, he did a skit about that shit the other day. Like how football players, the grown dude become captain.
Yeah.
And they go push out like up, he like down, like, no, coach, we ain't going down yet.
Hey, too much.
Like, let's go for another one. Yeah.
It's too much. So then, JB, I ask you, how important is it to have, whether it's fake or real, to have some type of camaraderie with the people you work with? Like, I don't care what your feelings are. This needs to be done, or else you won't ever be able to assimilate to the social norms of our community. Like, you just will never fit in, and that we already know how that ended up for him.
Well, I mean, shit, people like to do business with people that they know, like, and trust.
Yeah.
So, networking, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know, getting around in this world.
And even in the military, when it comes to a small groups like he was in, because he's already in small groups, so you definitely gotta know motherfuckers, and they gotta like you. Because if you're not a officer where you can put in your own paperwork and shit like that, it's gonna be hard, and he couldn't do that, and it was a problem because his second platoon wasn't like his first platoon. So his first platoon, they want to break their back every day at PT. But the second platoon, he trying to run these motherfuckers like they still in train. Like, dude, we not doing that no more. We don't need to do that no more. That was just to see if you can pass. And once you pass it, y'all PT can be as much as it needs to be, and no more.
Interesting. So then the question ultimately comes down to is, he was already socially awkward, but he keeps it there. So then let's just talk about how he keeps fucking up his body and not listening to himself. This is a book about him just not paying attention to basic signs.
It ain't even the basics. It's way beyond basic signs.
Yeah, I'm surprised you ain't catch the your thing, Heero. Focus. How unfocused he was when he went to the Delta shit.
Yeah, you make a great point there. But it's just because there was so much other things going on. But if you had told me someone had his wife and child at gunpoint and that's why he was doing this, that would make me believe okay, yeah. But the moment motherfucker had a hangnail and would leave the forces, what are you doing? And I love how at the end of the chapter he talks about how all his past platoon people and what they're doing and how they're so much more successful than he is, and he's in awe of that. Wow, I can't believe this person who failed this test that I passed is doing better than me. Bro, you don't understand how that happened. You don't see why being so hard headed with these
Well,
things.
he see why they told him why he understood that afterward. He like, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I did so and so if I
And
would,
it's kind of perfect the way he ended the book in that topic. So then let's
But
push.
if y'all see how he is now, he's learned.
yeah.
Like he do a lot of interviews. I mean, that's why he
Well,
wrote this
shit, he
book.
basically doing a podcast. So basically, that's
Right.
But
He
like, man, he could have been able to do a little bit more stuff that he wanted if he learned
shit.
quicker. If he just listened, it wasn't like he didn't learn it. He like he
He
just
was
ain't
just
listen,
hard
bro.
headed. Just hard headed.
Yeah, he heard it. He just ain't listen. But my nigga, you could have been did it. Like went to the Delta thing. When he was out there, he went to the wrong mountain bridge. Like what the fuck is? How the fuck do you do
You
that
lost your
with a
focus.
compass?
Yo,
With a
with a compass,
bro.
and
As
you,
a Navy SEAL though,
yeah,
I
yeah.
can get to where I need to go with a map. But
That
nigga,
was
you're a Navy SEAL.
that was something that made me like just doubt him like ethically. Like I was like, I don't think I would trust this dude to pull a pizza out the fucking oven no more. Like, bro, you were leading the pack. You had everything else. You had every step. And you were just so caught up in your own imagination that you forgot where you were going.
He got the he like, damn, I'm really doing. I'm about to do this. I'm about to graduate, and I look down at the map like, damn, I'm in the wrong spot. Nigga, what the? And then he did it again.
And when he felt that first bump, letting him know he was heading back towards the base, that shit was humbling. That shit
Yeah,
was
because
humbling.
the first time he fell is because he ran down the mountain and fucked himself up.
Yep.
Second time because he barely made it, and they ain't accepting that.
Yep. So then let's talk about his transition into like he's now into this social life. We go into chapter 10 a little bit. And he finds a new focal point. He wants to complete this pull-up challenge. And this is where we talk about where he doesn't listen, right? So let's paint this situation. You have a goal you want to attain, and you want to then raise the bar on that goal. You see the person who is currently holding the record. You see their physique, you see their form, their technique. You look at that and say, nope, fuck it, I'm gonna do it my way.
Yeah.
Why
Well,
is he?
no, basically because him doing it the way he doing it was something different because his size and his arm length stuff. But like, many people in the comments were saying that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you put too much weight on your hands. And remember I told y'all about that a few books back where I thought I was that man in boot camp with the pull-ups because I'm doing 40-something pull-ups. And then there was a rock climber there. So I'm doing my pull-ups and I'm, 30-something, and I hear motherfucker like 65. And I look over and I'm like, okay, I'm done, Because he doing this pull-up, he stopped on one arm, shake his arm, shake the other arm, and then keep going. I'm like, all right, cool, that ain't me. That ain't what I ain't leading in that.
Hey, can we talk about a situation where you thought you was that man and somebody humbled you real quick? That's a hell of a story. JB, you ever had a situation like that?
Like, what the fuck?
JB, you ever have a situation like that? I'll tell y'all a story about me. JB, you got one?
Yeah, man. I had somebody sell circles around me. I thought I was killing it.
You said they swim circles around you?
No, he was selling circles around me. I thought I was the man.
At work.
Yeah, at work. I thought I was the man. He come through. I'm like, oh man, I gotta learn something from this brother right here. He's smooth talking, boy.
Who do y'all know that worked at Protel? It was a telemarketing place out in Lansing when we went to North, because I worked there. Do y'all remember that, or did y'all ain't have no run of that when it There was so many of us from North working at Protel, telemarketing and shit, making those sales.
No, I didn't know anyone that worked there, but the one situation I remember, it took me back to football. To use a football example, I forget his name, but we called him Mickey. We called him Mickey Mouse because he always had these big ass. He was offensive lineman, right tackle. He had these big ass white gloves that just looked like Mickey, And it was just super. He was just a massive individual. And I was put on circuit with him to do shoulder shrugs on my circuit during our summer training camp. And he was like, "Come on, Rook, go ahead, get us started." So I put 225 on the shoulder to warm up on, and I'm doing my shoulder shrugs. what is it? 5 sets of 20. So I think 225. Okay, that's easy for me to do. Like I'm gonna just do a warm up, right? And he come over and says, "All right." He come back over and he says, "I'll wait. I'll wait." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I go to 285. Because I'm like, "All right. I still got to do like 20 more of these things." So I still keep waiting. And it wasn't until I got to 365, and that was like my last set, that he was like, "Okay, I'm ready to start warming up." And I just didn't. It just didn't even register on my brain that he didn't even want to work out with me. Like I thought he was just being lazy or didn't want to get started. And then I sat there and watched this man go all the way up to watch this man go all the way up to 500 pounds on shoulder shrugs for 4 sets of 20. And that's
That nigga really don't care.
that he.
You got
like,
to say something. You shrug 500 pounds and not carry.
Yeah, so anytime he shrugged his shoulders, you just knew he was 500 pounds of I don't care. And it was a humbling ass experience. A humbling ass experience. But in the next chapter, in the next segment, we talk about his failures with this and
on the Today Show first.
On the Today Show. And it was something once again, and this is where I talk about where they use him and he doesn't understand that he's being used.
So who you think using him this time? Because it's something he wanted to do.
No, I think he was still in the face of the military.
No, they remember he got told that he couldn't do it because what just happened with 9/11 or that book. So it was like, you can't be on Today's Show. He went anyway.
No, he asked for permission. He got cleared.
No, he got cleared beforehand. And then after the book came out, they told us that no, you can't do it because Buddy was talking like this has nothing to do with that, and I wasn't talking about nothing military wise.
But this
I'm trying to raise money.
But this even speaks to more of his lack of training. He didn't test out the bar. He didn't have all the equipment and staff that he needed there. He was just so unprepared. Like he just thinks
So you thought, well, remember when he got there, he got on the bar. He was like, damn, this ain't it's supposed to be better than this. Because they set that bar up. He's like, it's a little loose, but I think I can make it work. Seeing that it was his first time ever doing it, he didn't know that he needed that bar to be a lot more sturdier. Yeah.
But that still goes to his lack of preparedness. Yeah. His lack of preparedness.
Y'all hearing all this? Y'all hearing?
No, we hear nothing, bro. Nothing.
So what do you think about that first failure? Like, what did you have any, like, when I first was reading, I thought he was actually going to accomplish it. Did you see him fail in that first attempt, Black?
Shit, I didn't think he was going to accomplish it after he got what? To 1500s when he started having problems the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. But it was Today's Show, but it was him being him, you would think somehow persevered, but fucking he did.
And that was something I enjoyed seeing. Like, the body really will let you down. No matter how strong your mind is, the body will fail you first. Always. So, like, that was something interesting to see there. But then when he comes back from round 2, because he also, like, lost all the fucking peripheral tissue on his fucking fingers. Like, I think he was down to the muscle and bones on his fingers, which is... Like, he was taking corticoid shots to, like, subsidize the pain and all that stuff. But I love his second attempt because he came back with nutrition ideas, knowledge, padding. Like, he just had figured things that he could be better off at. And that made him better as a person altogether, right?
Shit, and didn't pay attention. Now I'm pissed because I'm hungry than a motherfucker.
So we have a dilemma where Black has sent his meal to the wrong location. JB has arrived at his current location. So excuse the technical difficulties, everybody, but we're back. And we might have some hangry people in the room, but, we'll make it. But then we could just push to chapter 11. Because before we go to chapter 11, we got to talk about his heart condition and just the mountain of trouble that caused him and how he was able to prevent that. So he had already had his first surgery, and he had done I think he was going for his second one. He was being evaluated for his second one, but every time he went to a cardiologist or a thoracic surgeon, they told him his shit looked clean. They've had him on thyroid medication because that's a big thing with people who don't regulate their adrenaline enough. That's what the thyroid helps you guys do. And his hormone was totally off balance because of all the training and punishment his body had been put through. It was kind of sad to see the thing that made his physical body so strong was destroying his internal body. And that was that was pretty like lethargic to see and hear. Have you guys ever done like something, wanted or done something so strongly or believed it so strongly that it started to affect other aspects of your life? Do you have any examples of that?
You said, repeat the question.
I was like, have you guys ever wanted or done something so and believed in it with such passion and vigor that it started to affect other parts of your life?
I mean, when I did that 75 hard, I mean, I wasn't quitting for nothing. But you know, I had the support of my wife, so shit worked out. But yeah, I wasn't as present as I could have been. But it also made a lot of other parts of my life a lot better, though.
So it had an overall plus to you.
Yeah, I think the principle of the whole thing made my life better.
What about you, Black?
I don't think I really ever went too far above what I wanted to do to reach something. So nah, not really. I ain't doing no that shit. Smarter, not harder for me.
No, I can't be mad at that. I think the one thing that's like strikeouts for me is probably the pursuit of like getting people to like me. Like I spent a lot of time when I was transitioning over into the medical field trying to get people to like me for me, and found out that like, oh, hey, what do you want to do? Oh, I work out after work, so that's where I'm going. And I would invite people to the gym with me, and people would be like, oh, I don't go to the gym. And I'd be like, oh, okay. But, you know, I'd be like, all right, so what are you doing after work? Oh, we're going to go to happy hour. Well, I don't drink. But, you know, I would still come and sit down with them at happy hour. You know, I ain't saying you got to lift 400 pounds, but if you saying you want to get to know me, this is me. So come get to know me on my own turf. And I think like for a long time I stopped. I used to just make leeway for other people without giving grace to myself. So I stopped that. But the thing in closing in just chapter 10 and just learning about his body. Chapter 10 is just him coming to terms with the fact that his body will let him down before his mind does. And I think that's something a lot of people, to Black's point, work smarter, not harder. Your mind is 10 times stronger than your body. And the sooner you figure that out, the better off you're going to be.
Jeremiah gone. Jeremiah said he about to be gone.
All right, Jeremiah, we'll keep Justin Fields up there just for you though.
Yeah, we almost done anyway, nigga. You could have waited 5 seconds.
But to the point. So then let's finish up with chapter 11 real quick, shall we?
Yeah.
All right. So then for chapter 11, we have a situation here where, you know, he hasn't found the answers to his problems yet. He's still struggling every day with these pains. He notices the lumps on his body, which is, first of all, if you're a person, I don't know about y'all, but when I take a shower, I touch every fucking surface of my fucking body. Ain't no way.
You gotta wash up, right? So shit, like you leaving spots out, you unclean. But he say he touched. He say he got a knot on his head. He had a knot somewhere else, and they grew bigger. I'm like, what the fuck? He said, but they wasn't tumors and nothing. Like, nigga, I don't know what.
Nah, bro, you missed me with that shit. Like you, like, bro, you got to know these things about your body, and that speaks sort of like to his mentality. He doesn't. He has all these lessons and all these things, all these resources, and he still be ending up on the far end. So when and this is something that's crazy about the end of this book, and this is probably the biggest message I got from this book. In life, you have to be flexible. Because what ended up saving this man is regiment of training and flexibility, range of motion. Like, I take pride in being able to say I could do a scissor split. Like, that shit makes me happy. But like, it also means something about
You can do a split, Heero? What?
Scissor split, man. Do it for the ladies. It's for the ladies only.
That's that African shit right there, man.
But the thing that I love is that he got nutrition. He got nutrition added in. He started like taking days off and just understanding the importance of this thing. And what does that mean to your personal life for you to be able to enact those personal things? Taking a fucking
And just have a
day off.
personal life, bro. Yeah, taking a break. Like, bro, like throughout the whole book, we knew it wasn't about his kids, but god damn, I forgot he had kids. Like man, like damn, you want be a father at all, my boy.
And it makes me wonder, like, what was the toll for all the shit that you got now? Was it worth the impact to your kids? And like, ultimately, like, did you accomplish? I hope
They probably got their own book.
Yeah, they gonna need one, or at least a therapist or something.
And you gonna say some at the military, like people say that for real though. Like if military want me to have a wife, Uncle Sam would have issued me one. And they gonna say that I got the first two wasn't right. Like I like with the way he lived his life, it had to be his fault the marriages ain't work. I understand about the first one. I would have never married her, but I don't know about the second
one. I feel like, especially for women have this nurturing nature where they see someone in pain and just want to try and heal them. When in reality, it should be like, yo, what about the damage you're gonna incur? Like this dude didn't care. He would leave people in a drop of. And I will say this, shout out to his mom for staying by him through thick and thin. Like she knew where her bread was buttered. Like to see her still like, no, we ain't calling an emergency. I'm gonna drive your ass there. Just because she has that much faith in herself to get her son to safety before a trained professional. It just speaks to sort of a toxic nature of where this debilitating, crippling idea where he has to be the strongest came from. It came from not taking proper care of self. And I think that's what the overall message of this book, You Can't Hurt Me, isn't really about being tough. It's about being able to listen to yourself when you're hurt. Like, yo, when you are hurt, do you know it? Because you can't hurt me could be perceived as I'm too tough, when it means you can't hurt me really means you don't know when you're hurt because you're ignorant to the facts. You're ignoring your body. You're ignoring the signs and symptoms.
I think it's also is more so that you can't do it because everything that you would like to do, I've done worse. Because he's done all the worst shit for himself. It wasn't like all the worst shit he's been through came from him. So everything else a motherfucker can do for him ain't gonna be shit. And you can't to me because I'm already fucking as broke down as I can be. Motherfucker tried to do a pull-up competition right out he had a heart surgery, and the first heart surgery failed, so they didn't close it up as much as they supposed to. And he running 1.5 miles and he dying. Why are you running to work every day? Like people like that used to get on my fucking nerves in the service, bro. Like, why are you doing so much? Like, we go for like go for a light little run, then we end up running 10 miles. I'm like, what the fuck was this for? We got nothing out of this 10 miles but time, bro. Like I am not running, bro. That's why I had to go, bro. Like I'm not a runner, bro. I'm not running, bro. I'm gonna die before I run.
I run 2 miles every day when I go to the gym. And I say this all the time. I get to like 0.75, 0.85. I'm like, I'm gonna walk the rest of this shit out. Like who like if my body's just hurting my knees, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, man, good time. I'm 2 miles for me, 15 minutes. Hey, I remember when I used to run in a mile in 17 minutes. So now I'm down to 2 in 15. I'm like, okay, I'm happy with this shit. But I get to 1.75.
A mile should be like I tell people, like an 8-minute mile is fucking amazing.
Amazing.
When you're doing more than that, you're really doing too much. Just if you don't have no type of goal outside of just accomplishing, like, bro, your goals gotta mean something, bro. You running for nothing just to, see if you can do it. That shit is pointless at a certain point in life.
Nah, totally.
I ain't running 10 miles just to see if I can do it. I don't give a fuck. I got a car. I got 100 mountain bikes in my garage. I got Uber.
All right, so then let's speak on the facts of this. So, Can't Hurt Me. We've completed the book. What's your star rating on this? What's your feelings on this?
I mean, I can't rate the book because it's nothing to rate on. It's autobiography, so it's based off him.
Mm-hmm.
I can't rate him because fucking shit. He did what he wanted to do as far as mostly everything, so that's good. He pushed himself way too far, but yeah, it's just
So like
a lot of shit.
compared to the other books, is it on the upper half of the better books, lower half? I don't think we've really read a bad book.
Yeah, see, but because it's autobiography, I can't compare it to other books. We didn't really like. For me, I didn't really get no message. Like it was just me. Like, but for me, I'm not gonna work like that, bro. I'm not gonna do that shit. If I can't do something, I just can't do it, bro. I'm a heavy equipment operator. I sit on my ass, so
yeah, you just gotta make sure you have
I
proper
don't need
cushioning,
to.
man.
I don't
Good
need to. Yeah, I don't
posture,
need to
good.
over operate other motherfuckers, bro. We in the union. We get paid the same.
Yeah, you tell everybody the same thing. Me and you make the same amount. You can't talk shit to me. But a thing that I will say that okay, so for me, this book is it ranks pretty high for me. But as far as substance and content, I just didn't find it that interesting because early on in the book we found out that this dude is just hard headed, and if the message at the end wasn't so pure, I probably would dislike this book. But I think it's a good book as far as if you get the right message from it, if you are really paying attention.
It does teach you that networking is important.
Hell of important. So I'm not gonna say it's a terrible book, but I'm happy. I can say I read it now, and
I believe that, like you say about his $18 an hour. I think he chose a job where he liked over how much he could make. Because I don't believe that's the only thing he could have got.
No, well, like my podcast, I literally have 5 people here, and I love all 5 of you that are watching this with me. And I'm making money off of Papa Bezos. If he's getting just that podcast had over 100,000 views, and that was just on Audible. So I know iTunes and he has millions of views. So he's set for the rest of his life. He'll never have to work another day in his life. He could just go out and get
I think he's just doing something he likes.
For
he
sure.
feel like he want to take care of people, and that's cool, bro.
No, absolutely.
I take that job over. I tell people to do what they like and love over what they make money off of.
No, facts. Well, shit, hell. Is anything you want to throw out there, Black?
No, we just need to figure out a new book.
I was thinking
people
about
watching. They can tell us what books they think we should read.
Yeah, suggest a book in the comment section below. But I was actually thinking about reading this conspiracy book. It's like, how do conspiracies become? Like, how do conspiracy theories get born? Like, and where do they come from? How do people how do they catch fire? And
a lot of everything catch fire on social media. Once you post something that got some type of anything in it, that make it, you just post the title. You don't have to have no substance or nothing in the paragraph. I mean the paragraph of the article or nothing, because ain't nobody gonna read that. They're gonna read the title and they're like, man, yeah, that can happen. Earth is flat, fucking all type of weird shit, bro. Like, I always ask them, when they were doing that big Earth is flat shit, like, what do the world have to gain in whether the Earth is flat or round? Like, if they lied about it, what are they gaining from that? What do you gain from that? What can you gain from that?
That's why, as long as it's a conspiracy theory that isn't going to hurt people, I don't care. The Earth's flat. Look, all I hear is when someone says I'm a flat earther is that you have a group or community that you meet up with once a week and y'all talk about shit that y'all like. That's no difference than the person saying, oh, Dungeons and Dragons is my favorite game. All right, y'all meet up once a week in y'all mama's basement and y'all talk about that shit. But the moment
because that's weird. Like,
yeah.
If you don't have nothing to affect us or no reason to do nothing to us, I don't feel like I'm even gonna talk about it no more. Like, if it's flat, it's flat. If it's not, it's not, bro. Because what are we gaining from not knowing that either war? Because ain't nobody traveled to the edge and fell off yet.
Still waiting for that one cruise ship to fall off the edge and not come back. I'm still waiting on that reporting in the news. But hey, we'll find a book next week. But I appreciate everybody that jumped on. I hope Rob is still not in the Zoom meeting, man.
Nah, Rob ain't never come.
Yeah, okay.
Catch the vibes, but it's so hard to find through the daily grind. Been working overtime, and I'm sleep deprived. Shorty on my line, and we fuss and fight. Seems like every night. Don't care who's wrong or right. I hope the end is sight. Slow it down, and we can catch the vibes.